How about it? Will you work with me?
Not bad. Let me be honest with you. I have the sacrifice core that you're after. I am Mockingbird.
So it's you. I never thought you'd be so bold as to come see me alone.
Relax, my friend. As you know, if I can sneak into such a heavily guarded auction, then naturally, I can just as easily slip away right now. I'm here with the sincere intention to seek cooperation. I can give you that sacrifice core.
And what do you want in return?
Wealth, glory, power. The things everyone else in the world wants, I want them too. And I'm confident that as the current heir to the Ravenlock family, those are all things you can give me.
Then you've certainly come to the right place. My family is working on a big project. If things come to fruition, Ravenlock's status in Tops will significantly improve. At which point, I'll be sure to leave a spot for you. Naturally, as an outsider, you're precluded from handling any of our core business. But profits from the scraps alone will be enough to set you up for life.
Mr. Hartman, I think you've misunderstood me. I have no intention of joining the Ravenlock family. In fact, I have an art gallery under my name that does pretty well for itself. I was hoping you could recommend me for Tops.
You want to join Tops? That's easier said than done. Even for a family like ours, it would still require significant effort and...
Just answer me yes or no. I don't think either of us can afford to waste time.
I understand. Yes, you have my word. But in exchange, you'll have to give me the sacrifice core first.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't. I've already hidden it somewhere safe, a place nobody else but me knows. You don't want to put all your chips on the table when dealing with Tops. I know that far too well.
Then that means I also need to keep an eye out when working with the infamous Mockingbird, right?
Mr. Hartman, I should remind you that I stand before you undisguised. Coming from a phantom thief who's never publicly revealed his identity, shouldn't that be sufficient assurance? If I betray you, then you merely need to lift a finger to wipe me from the face of this world.
You do make a valid point there. In that case, you have a deal.
I appreciate your trust.
Why don't we celebrate our new partnership with a toast? Having a drink before undertaking anything important is a family tradition. It's good luck.
As an outsider, it's a real honor.
By the way, you aren't the only member of your organization, are you? Shouldn't all your companions agree to this deal first?
You don't have to worry about that. I'll make sure she agrees. Otherwise, I'll get rid of her too.
Seems you'll do whatever it takes to get things done. Great things lie ahead for someone like you. All right, let's leave it at that for today. I'll contact you about what to do next.
That's him! He's the one who killed Serena! She was the only one who was ever any good to him, right? That's how he repays her?
That's why they say once a mongrel, always a mongrel. Just look into his eyes.
Father! We have to punish him! Serena had been ranking ahead of him. Hugo must have poisoned her water so he could pass her.
Pure evil. Typical for an impure bloodline. He should have been kicked out ages ago.
Hugo, did you do all this?
Yes, it was me. I killed her.
He admitted it! Father, he must be expelled. He has no right to live under the same roof as us.
Why don't we reunite him with Serena then? Nobody would ever know.
Hugo, well done. My children, how many times have I told you before? In this world, only the most ruthless, cruel, and unscrupulous of people ever make it to the top. Like Hugo here, who was willing to murder his only true loved one without a second thought. Only someone with the means and the gumption to do that is qualified to be my heir.
But I...
It's all over now, and the results are obvious. The winner of this month's assessment is Hugo. As for the rest of you, go to the usual place for the punishment you deserve.
But Father, before this, I was #1.
As I've told you before, there's only room for one winner in this family. You're still a loser, even if it's by the smallest margin. And there's no reason for a loser to exist. This is all for your own good. Do you understand? Go on now. Receive your punishment for the sake of the family.
Yes, I understand. I'm sorry.
That really brought up some unpleasant memories. It won't be long. Soon, it'll all be over.
Thank you for escorting me here, Proxy. Today was quite eventful. If you're a child that only brings misfortune. People have been saying that about me for a long time. I used to feel hurt and resentful. But now that I think about it, it's perfectly normal for people to react that way. Why do I only predict suffering? If I could predict happy things, joyful things, would people like me a little more? Maybe fate truly is set in stone. Often, I want to help these people avoid their miserable fates. For a time, I even thought that I was successful, that I could change people's destiny. But it was all an illusion. In the end, I couldn't do anything at all. So, I was really happy when you said that my abilities weren't a curse, but a gift. Thank you, Proxy. I'm so glad to have met you. And you're also a fan of Lord Phaethon. It's like we were fated to meet. I don't know why, but I feel completely at ease when I'm by your side. I feel like I'm free from judgment, from blame. Like, I don't need to worry about anything, and can just be my own true self. Perhaps people really do possess an aura, and ours just so happen to be extremely compatible. By the way, you asked me before about Hugo. I don't really know much about him. He rarely ever talks about his past. But judging from his eye colors, you can guess he's probably the bastard son of a renowned family. I think his mother was very worried about his different colored eyes, and even wanted to get rid of him at one point. But then his family offered a huge price and bought him off his mother for some reason. And just like that, he moved from a leaky and drafty boarding room to a luxurious mansion. But he's also mentioned that the extravagant home is actually like hell for him. I think it's probably because the family treats him terribly. I digress. He ran away and ended up meeting Lycon and his master. After that, they formed Mockingbird together and experienced a rare period of happiness. Until Lycon's betrayal.
So, what's your take on Hugo?
I imagine I would still be wandering around now if I had never met him. To me, Hugo is just like an older brother. I've always felt as though he's carrying some heavy burden with him. But that's a secret he's kept to himself. Something he'll never tell me. Sometimes when I look into his eyes, I can feel that he's really struggling with something. Even though he may say some extreme things, Hugo really isn't a bad person. I think one day he'll tell me his secret. Until then, I just have to wait. Wait and trust him.